Hi everyone, how are you doing? Hope everyone's keeping safe and staying at home and doing the best they can to get through this period. We are here in the garden. Oh! Let's start again. We are here today in Willow Bonsai's garden, the collection of the trees that we've got here, plus the nursery and all the other stock that we've got on the premises. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going through the garden, doing a bit of a tour, highlighting some of the trees that we've got in the garden here. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the little tour, some history of the trees, just a little bit of fun facts about some of the things that we're busy working on and going to be working on in the future, because there's a lot of work to be done in the collection, and we are redesigning a lot of our trees from the previous experience that we got from being at Pretoria and all those sort of things, the experience that we got in Belgium. So lots to do, but yeah, let me take you on a tour through our garden. Okay, so we're starting here on the left hand side as we work into the nursery, and we've first of all got a nice big juniper that we have got cleaned up relatively well, but we are going to be working on this one very soon. It's about a triple trunk, lots of potential in there, but yeah, lots of work, so we're going to be tackling that within the next month or two. Bit of a Ficus natalensis, root over rock. So we've got very nice root system over there, and reapplied and redesigned a little bit of the tree about a month ago, more or less. So we've been doing quite a bit of work on that one. You'll see we've got little irrigation spouts on all of our trees, and that's for the irrigation system that is automated, and we adjust that depending on the season. One of our what we call in South Africa kiepersol. So this one is from a town called Graafrenet, very unique species, and it's got a very nice corky bark to it as well. So very cool little unique piece there. Some trees that we've got over here. So we've got a Hail Boereboon on the left hand side there. Also needs a bit of a restyling. So most of our trees at this stage are going to be restyled. This is a Commiphora that we're going to be working on quite soon as well. The leaves need to come off because it's going into winter. One of our juniper tanukis that also needs to be worked on in the next little while. So it has got some wire on it, but it needs to be corrected. Little acacia that's actually going to sleep because it's now going into afternoon, so the leaves are busy closing, and they will start dropping their leaves anytime soon. So the cool thing about this one is we've got a little sort of glaze mark that the glaze jumped onto this pot. Another one of our little junipers on one of our natural planters, so also needs a lot of work. This one is one of my favorite little junipers. Got it on a polystyrene rock that we've done, and put it in onto a piece of slate. But this is one of my favorite trees in the collection. It's just got a very cool composition. So a little bit of touch up that we need to do because of the hail damage that happened, and we're going to be just reworking it, but it has been wired. We are going to, however, be just restyling it slightly. One of our olives, you can see how these things have grown in the last month, so plenty work to do still in the nursery here. Another little juniper, we took the wire off recently, so this one is relaxing, getting ready for the next styling. Another one of our olives, very nice big piece of deadwood. So that one's coming through like that, and we're going to be working on that one also to improve it dramatically. Another one of our favorites in the collection is this Commiphora harveyi. So this is a red stemmed corkwood. Some people call it a paper bark because of the bark that peels off. but very nice indigenous species that we have here in South Africa, and fantastic little tree. It's in the baobab style. So this one originally came from Derek Veldhuizen, and we've now got it in the collection. So very, very proud to, you know, be able to look after this tree and take it to the next step. Small leaf privet, also losing a bit of the leaves because of the hailstorm that we had very recently. So yeah, not looking its best, but we're going to be doing some fine refinement wiring on it and getting the canopy right. There's a Ficus natalensis in the back there, a little bird davy fig. This is one of our cool little guys. A very nice structure up in there, very, very nice small leaves. So this is quite a favorite of our collection. Then we've got one of the other special ones that we've been working on. So this is a Chinese elm forest, or group actually, on a polystyrene rock. So fully polystyrene, and I carved this and created this rock over about a 3-week period. And the Chinese elms and that are actually looking quite good. We've got some good structure coming along. They need to be worked on again now. In autumn we're going to go in and redo the styling and get some things going, but this is quite a cool composition. So there's lots to still do, but happy with the progress of that one so far. And if we go to the right hand side here, one of our olives that we've recently worked on. So that was on one of our YouTube videos. It's doing good. It's budding back beautifully. It's even started budding back right on the bottom. So there's a couple of really cool buds there, and doing very, very well. They're very, very happy. So let's see, which way are we going? I think let's go this way. So we've got a couple of figs, another Chemifora, one of our Caniduets. This is a weeping style that we are working on with this one. This tree needs a little bit more fertilizing. It is going to start losing some of its leaves now. So this is called a Tambuti, one of our indigenous hardwoods in South Africa and sub-Saharan Africa. So very, very nice species to work with. They are just profuse growers, so there's a lot of stuff happening in there that we need to work on again. Okay, one of our wisterias that we're busy styling. Little olive, well, not very little, but quite a big guy. Needs a lot of work. All the wire is going to be removed from this tree. We're going to cut back, get the bifurcation correct, and then this one will be restyled. This originally came from Duncan Wiles, and we're going to be working on this tree to improve it quite dramatically in the next year or two. Then probably my favorite tree in the collection is this Acacia Burkii. Probably about 33 years, grown from seed. We know that because of the owner that planted it by seed, and a really, really special one. The pot has been designed and made by us. That's from the wind today, and completely natural sort of pottery ceramic slab that we've built, and then it's got a beautiful bark on it. So this is one of the thorn trees that we have in the collection, but this is by far the most favorite one at this stage. What we are going to do is we're probably going to change the front to somewhere over here, but we are going to be working on the branch structure to develop that from there. Right, one of our junipers that was recently styled will however be restyled as it's lost a bit of its styling, and we're going to then work on it. So it's a tanuki on a dead piece of wood, and we're going to be working on this one quite soon, but it has gone through the major bends very, very nicely. That was completely straight, so very happy with that so far. One of our pomegranates, amazing one that we managed to dig out of a garden when we were doing landscaping. So some good deadwood, needs to work on it a little bit more, and then we're starting the development of the branch structure on this Yamadori. Little Japanese maple we're working on, still needs a lot of work, but we'll be starting the refinement phase of that one quite soon. Very nice little white stinkwood. So this is really coming along nicely. This I've only had for probably, about 3 years, maybe 4 years. So we've done a little bit of work on the carving, Still need to do a bit more, but the tree is coming along really nicely. Some good detail into the carving work that we've done, and we'll then start working the branches and everything as well in the next little while. Then we've got a little juniper, also in one of our pots. Also needs to get the wire removed from it, and we're going to restyle it with the experience that we've got from Rafa. So pretty much everything that I'm showing you here is going to be redone, because we now know what to look for, and we had a very good experience there. Nice Trodden Maple. This one is quite a special tree. Had it for about 4 or 5 years, slowly developing the branch structure, but there are a couple of faults that I want to improve upon, and the next season we're going to be improving this Nabari, which is not the best. So we're going to be approach grafting that and developing a Nabari, and it will probably be about a year or so before we get that to be exactly the way we want it to. Then we've got some big ones. We've got a little juniper tanuki that's in a moon pot. So that one is one of my first ones, and then a very big white stinkwood that we are going to be working on probably in the next season. So a lot of carving that's going to be happening, and we're going to be working on these 2 stumps, doing a lot of carving, working them away, getting it to look natural. So a lot of work happening there. Nice little bird davy that we recently styled. A bit different the styling that we've done, but this one was redone after I came back from Rafa and the branch structure has been corrected. Here's also a Ficus natalensis. Also a little bit of work that needs to be done. There's a couple of issues in this tree and areas that it's not growing as profusely as it should, but we will be working this. It's got hardly any leaves on it now because of the hailstorm, so it whacked most of the leaves off. But it's got a good structure inside, it's got a nice Nabari at the bottom, so we've got quite a lot to work with on there. And then here's one of my wife's trees, very big guy, so beautiful Nabari. The top of this tree we're redeveloping, so we've got all that Nabari that's moving in there, very wide. That's probably about a ½ meter wide, this Nabari. Also redone the structure of the branches when I came back from Rafa, and the wire will start coming off now because it is starting to bite. But this section here, you can see we cut that off, and we're now going into that branch as our apex to get the conical structure to our branches. Then a little bit of a different tree that we've got is a fruit salad tree. So I think it's Feijoa, as far as I know. They have changed the botanical name, but this is a really cool specimen. Really nice corky wood. Little bit of carving and that we want to do in this tree, but slowly the design is coming through. I'm going to be starting to make a pot for this one quite soon. There's another little Ficus natalensis. That one's, well, it's about 600 to 700 high. So also a lot of work that's going to happen on that one. So got a good base, but the rest of the tree needs to be very well developed. Then we've just got a bit of stock that's standing around that we're busy working our way through, some cork box, that type of thing. And then the pool that's in the middle of the whole nursery that we've got here. Then we've got some trees here. We've got a swamp cypress that dried out while I was overseas, so I'm going to restyle and rework this tree completely. And then we've got our sort of mascot tree, our willow, that is in the garden. So doing very nicely. We've developed it over the last 1.5 years, and we've got a lot of work to do now with the deadwood. So it's got a very nice base, it's looking very good up to there, and we're going to be doing some deadwood work very soon on this guy. We move on to the other side of the garden. We've got some projects that we're busy with. A yew that I need to style for a client. A very nice juniper grouping that's on a slate. We've got a piece of wood in it as well. That is a very nice structural piece. So this will be one of our pieces that we'll be doing as a series on YouTube. One of our very special little figs in the nursery and in the collection. This is a strangler style. So this we spoke about when we did the black scissors demo, and you can see how nice that guy is coming along. So really happy with the development of this one. So this is just going to go in leaps and bounds from now. Japanese maple that's going into autumn foliage. This is a wild olive. This is one I worked with Rafa when he was here in South Africa. Got some very cool deadwood. It actually has, now I want to see which side this is. This side, the deadwood almost looks like a dragon. So, or a dragon or a horse, but it's got some very cool deadwood on it. So this one is going to be going into a lot of styling soon. I just need to start wiring some of the branches up, but looking good so far. A little Japanese maple, Chinese maple that we also need to do some work on, Chinese elm that I need to do some work on. This one's quite a nice little tree, got some good deadwood in the bottom there, but a lot of work that I want to do with the wiring and the styling. A white stinkwood, coming along quite nicely. It needs to have some approach grafts at the bottom done in the new season, so that we'll do once we get to August. Juniper, we've taken all the wire off of this one. It's a nice thick one. We don't often get thick ones like this with good branch structure, and we're going to be restyling this one in the winter period now. We've got some white stinkwoods, another Japanese maple that has come in that we're going to be working on. Our forest. So this is one of the forests that we built with our bonsai club here, Bonsai Addicts. This is also a very good piece that we're going to be now working heavily on in the winter period to get the bifurcation correct, to wire the branches in, and to make sure that we've got some really good structure going. So a lot of work is going to be tackled into that tree. Interesting tree, this one. This comes from Durban, just putting out leaves as we're going. This is called a Dalbergia, or a thorny rope, and they come from Natal in the sort of warmer, moister sort of areas that we have here in South Africa, but very cool species to work with. They grow very fast and they've got huge thorns on them, but very nice to work with. They are actually a creeper, so we design them into trees and keep them quite far back. You can see that was growth in about 2 weeks, so it's growing very viciously. Moving across, we've got a weeping miniature rose that we'll be getting a pot for this year, plus we'll be doing some deadwood work. So it's just that primary styling. The wires will be coming off soon, and then we'll be working on it next year again. One of our little commiforas, that is a weeping to a windswept style. The pots are specifically made for this tree to give a bit of movement into the composition. And this is one of my favorite trees in the collection. However, this is one that had major damage from red spider this year we've been battling, and it was from the end of last year as well. So we've been really battling with this tree. It's got a lot of good potential. There's some deadwood that's come from the parts that have died. So we've lost a branch in the back over there. We've lost a whole piece right over there, and we've lost a little bit in the canopy, but this tree has come back in leaps and bounds and is really healthy now. So we're going to get a little bit more healthier, and then we're going to start the styling and the deadwood work. So we're going to start finding the live veins, but one of my favorite trees that we'll get back to its former glory. Then we've got a Syzygium forest. Can't get a good picture, otherwise I'm going to fall in the swimming pool, but there we go. Nice Syzygium forest that we've been working with. Black pine, I worked on this with Mauro at ABC5. Lots more work to do, but it's getting there quite nicely. This was a good trial run for the wiring that we were taught from Mauro, and then taught again from Rafa, and to refine it from Rafa. Then we've got a section in the back there that is behind the lapa. So we've got a whole piece that I'm busy sort of extending and repairing. A lot of extra shelves that we're putting in there, and that will be our client section plus our what would we call it, the sort of the cutting section. So if we walk through here, we've got some of our collection. This is some of the small guys. So we've got some of our kusamono, our accent pots, a couple of things, some of our very small little bird davy figs. We have lots of varieties of our figs, and there's some big ones, some small ones. the ones that we could really sort of pull out that are special in this is the one here, which is one of our pop art avant-garde sort of things. That's coming along quite nicely. This is a special little tree. This is my wife's little tree. It's tiny, so if you put my fingers in there, it's a small little guy, but it's got beautiful, beautiful branch structure coming along. So that's quite a special one. And then we've got a whole bunch of small little babies, including that one in the middle there that's doing very, very well. That's very popular on our Facebook account. So we've got a whole bunch. We've just recently worked to all these trees. Every single one of them has been wired, has been styled. Some just cut back, some dead wood have been done. So there's a lot of work that's just been done in the last week in this section. And then we've got, if I walk through, we can have a look. We've got some clivias that are flowering, some indigenous shade-loving plants in South Africa. Here's some of my trees that we have done for clients and that we have got in the sort of the greenhouse section here, but this will actually be taken across for winter into the other section. But they are already starting to bud in places. They're looking good, so this is looking very, very nice. I'm happy with the results. This was from my black scissors demonstration. No signs of budding yet, but they're all still perfectly green, and I expect budding within the next week or so. Then we've got some trays of moss for our photography, the videos, anything that we need. It grows like crazy here. You can see the bottom here. With all the moisture we've got, there's a lot happening. So we've got our cuttings. All of this has been redone and we need to now get it painted. We've done a little bit of washing and power washing of all the wooden poles. So a lot of this section will be customers' trees. We've got one customer tree here that's at the moment just been restyled, palmatum, and we'll wait for that to come into leaf. But we're now getting a lot more or better sections going along in the nursery. Alright, let's get out of here. There's sort of a view from the Lapa side through out into the garden with the trees, the Tory Gate. So that's sort of what we have to look out on all day. Some of the trees, this is now going more towards the house. We've got a couple of trees here that are client's trees. This is a client's tree here. Very nice little juniper that I styled, and this guy will be on Facebook very, very soon of the process that we've done. A lot of work that's happening, forest of clients that I need to fix, so there's a lot of work at the moment. And then we've got the nursery. So I'll take you quickly through the nursery. So we've just recently redone everything in here. We've placed wood on the bottom, so we've redone the wood sections. We have varnished that and then worked on every single tree during lockdown in this section. So everyone has not just been cut, they've actually been styled, wired, and every tree has had a good working through. So there's some really, really good stock that's coming through. Some of them need to be potted, but there's some good stuff that we're making. So just a couple of them. There's some nice ones. There's a nice little Junie here that's been bought by one of our clients. Very, very nice one. Our bougainvillea is starting to go into flower, so that will probably be put onto the website quite soon. And then there's a whole of a lot of sort of pre-bonsai stock that we've been very hard on, that we've taken from other sections of the nursery and we've now hammered them back, and now they're going to grow back. And as soon as we get some styling and that into them, we'll put them into ceramics. Here's a nice azalea that's starting to flower. One of the Kurumis, I think, as far as I know, or Satsuki. Nice little olive. So this has also been bought by one of our clients, nice and thick. And then just a whole bunch of the stuff that we're working on. Some figs that we need to do. This is a cascade that I need to redo. So yeah, that's pretty much how I'd say the walkthrough. So let me get out of the nursery here. Dun, dun, dun. That we at least end off with a nice pizza. So that's about it. So thank you for joining us on this walkthrough, and yeah, I hope to see everyone soon. We will be opening the nursery up quite soon, and keep an eye out for our channels and our Facebook pages.